you should stop working for the next 3 years. No one's probably told you to stop working before, and here I am, a certified financial planner, owner of a big financial planning company, and I'm telling you to retire for the next 3 years. So there's a little bit more substance behind this. It's not necessarily specific advice, obviously. Everyone has a different situation, but I want to throw you an idea that could make a lot of sense to utilize the low tax rates we have over the next 2.5 years. This could be a great opportunity for you to take a little break from work, maybe go back, and make sure you can maximize these lower tax rate environments if you've saved quite a bit in your 401k, IRA, and vehicles like that. So what am I talking about with these low tax rates? So in 2017, President Trump enacted what was called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And what that did is lower taxes from 2017 to 2026. Come 2026, tax rates are going up back to what they were in 2017, which is higher than they are currently. And I've done some other videos on this, and you could see yourself paying 20% more in taxes in 2026 if you have the same situation. If you are paying $10,000 in taxes today, that means you could pay $12,000 when this tax code expires, sunsets, and goes back to where it is. So we've got a huge opportunity at our fingertips right now. And if you know anything about me or know my philosophy, I think tax rates will be even higher in the future, considering all the factors with our current debt, our current spending, and other factors that would cause taxes to increase moving forward. And so with these tax rates, why am I telling you to look to retire over the next 2.5, 3 years? It's because we can take advantage of this tax sale right now and try to plan for the better future. And so one specific strategy that a lot of people are looking at right now is what's called a Roth conversion. And so if you're still working right now, you may have a higher income, which a Roth conversion still may make sense for you, but it's going to limit the amount you can do above that before you start hitting those higher tax brackets. Well, if you stop working and you have no income, now you could start to spend down these higher tax deferred dollars. So if you have $1 million or more in this tax deferred bucket, I'm specifically talking to you because this is where you could start to get those spent down in the lower tax rates versus in the future. When you take those out, you're probably going to have to pay a higher tax rate as those continue to grow and grow and grow over time. At age 73, you're going to be forced to take out money from those tax-deferred vehicles. That's called a required minimum distribution. And so we need to be prepared for that moment. And so if we're able to spin this down now, well, now we're not going to have as big of an RMD in the future is what we're looking at. The other consideration that we're looking at is, hey, maybe you don't want to spin it down. Maybe you want to just move it over to a Roth, and that's where that Roth conversion comes into play. And it will still be there for you for the future. The only difference is you can pay a lower tax rate now, cash in on that, and then all the growth is tax-free moving forward. So that's where this strategy of retiring for a little bit could make a lot of sense. So for you, that could mean maybe retiring earlier, or what we've done and experimented with some of our clients is let's almost just take what we call a sabbatical. Let's just take 1 year and where we just don't work, we just take a break. Some employers may say, yeah, that's totally fine. You'll come back refreshed and maybe you'll work even longer for us. And so that could be a consideration. Maybe if you just had a break, maybe instead of retiring at 65, maybe you may feel more energized and say, I'd rather work till 70. Or maybe you get this sabbatical and you get to realize, what does retirement look like? And maybe you go, no, that's not me. I'm just going to keep working because I enjoy that way more than this time I experimented of taking some time off. And so those are the considerations you're looking for and during this time of why it can make a lot of sense. And because of the tax rates where it are, it could make financial sense as well if this is the time for you that makes sense for you. And I just think about it from my personal situation. Whenever I go on a week trip somewhere, just 1 week, I always feel so refreshed when I come back. I always feel like I have better ideas. I always feel like I'm more focused. I always feel like I'm more energized. So imagine if you have more than just a week to just really gather your thoughts and kind of get a feel of where you're at and where you want to be. Imagine what that could do for you. And then again, come back to the tax planning side and make sure we're taking advantage of that if that's something that we truly want to do. And again, this may not be a strategy for someone if you don't have as much saved up. I want to make that clear because maybe you're taking a big sacrifice and not working, and maybe you're just going to dwindle down what you saved up. And then if you do decide to retire, you may not have as much at that point. So you want to be very careful of who this is right for and who this is not right for. But if you have a significant amount saved up, I'm thinking the people who have $1 million or more, well, it could make sense because you're probably not going to run out of money eventually, would be the idea if that's you. And then also you can start to spend these downs or get it converted to the Roth where you can still let it grow tax-free. And maybe you don't stop working altogether. Maybe you still work, but maybe you take a pay reduction and do something that you more enjoy or something that is going to help get you more relaxed and ready to take on whatever's next in that phase of life. So just some considerations for you there to think about. If you'd like to explore what this looks like or this idea, feel free to reach out to us. You can apply to talk to one of our advisors, and we can talk you through this concept and see if it works for you. And just make sure you're looking at all the pros and cons of doing something like this, because it is definitely extreme. And if it's the first time you've heard it, I hope it's opened your eyes. But just be very slow to make this decisions. Definitely look and see for your particular situation if it's going to work or if it's not. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.